welcome to Soul Search with Polly and Jane. I'm Polly.
And I'm Jane.
Laurel and Hardy to some, and we have multiple names.
We do.
Multiple alter ego.
Some can't be repeated on live streams or on YouTube.
This is very true.
So this week we have a bit of a special one. We haven't got one guest, we got two. How exciting is that?
Two special guests.
And so let's let our guests introduce themselves because we do enough talking. We're going to go over to you, Tracey. Introduce yourself.
I think Tracey is stuck.
Kelly, you see there?
Just for Kelly. Yeah, we'll go over to Kelly. Kelly, come and tell us a bit about yourself. And we seem to have lost Tracey.
She has an amazing teacher.
Yeah, it is an amazing experience. And just while we're waiting for Tracey to hopefully get back on, Kelly has been in our group for a little while now, haven't you? In our development group. Yes, not too long ago. Is coming on absolute leaps and bounds in there as well. And we're really, really pleased to have you on today, Kelly. So, have we lost her completely?
I'm just looking. I've just resent her a link. See how live we are when we're actually recording. We're that live.
Yeah, we're very live. So, Kelly, just while we're waiting for Tracey, so when do you feel like you sort of started getting on your spiritual path? What sort of happened? Tell us a little bit about it. Wow.
There she comes.
Hey. Yeah.
Hello. Where'd you go, Tracey? Where'd you go?
And how did the angel board come about with you?
Can I just stop you, Kelly? Sorry. Tracey, can you hear us? Tracey can't hear us.
She's reconnecting. She must be in a twilight zone.
It's this horrible weather we're having. Wave, Tracey, if you can hear us. Can you even see us?
Yes.
You see us?
We have some movement.
Sound? Right. What a great start we've just had. We lost you, Tracey, and your sound went funny. So it's just gone again.
I think we're just going to have to get on, and then hopefully she'll be able to get on again. If not, we'll have to invite her on the next show, which hopefully won't be the case. It will hopefully be this show. So yeah, just bear with us, guys, if you can. So sorry, it was a couple of years ago, did you say, Kelly? And from what I hear, you've been having some amazing results. A lot of our group have actually been to you for angel board readings, and I've quite fancy booking myself one in actually, so I'm going to be doing that also. So obviously at the end of the session today, we'll make sure that if you have a link or anything that you would like us to share for anyone to get hold of you, then obviously please do give us that. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Your spiritual journey, because I mean, a lot of people at the moment, I'm feeling like I'm not saying you're old by any means of the word, Kelly, but there seems to be a lot of people that in their sort of, 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s even are starting to push forward. And I don't know if it's because they're just getting those signs or what, or sometimes I do feel like our life can change, and it's almost like we have to realize and understand that life, if we take it so seriously and live in such a materialistic way and living in fear, and which is very common at the moment, it's almost like I think that some people are wanting more to life. They're wanting to know that there's more to life. There's much more for them, a different sort of angle for them to be looking at. It's not all scientific. It's not all black and white, And like I said, there could be many reasons for it, couldn't it? That the older generation have perhaps, or the middle-aged generation have suddenly become really interested in it. Then I think a lot of the younger kids are starting to become more spiritually aware, and it's more accepted now. It didn't used to be so accepted, did it? You think your daughter is?
To Tracey, she's back.
Hi, Tracey.
Hello.
Or is she back?
I am
back. She's stuck again.
Am I stuck? She's fine. I think she's fine. Let's just not look at her, and then hopefully she'll stay there. Sorry, Kelly. Go on.
Oh, we were just talking about people becoming more spiritual. Yeah. And she looks identical to you as well, Kelly. So she's got to be your protege. It's like looking at you.
You brought her to the fair, didn't you? You brought her to the... Yeah, she does look like you. Yeah. There you go then. So before we lose Tracey again, let's quickly get her to introduce herself and how she become about doing two jobs. Oh, look,
it's going
she didn't
again.
want to talk to me. She cut herself off.
I think it's freezing again.
What
I'm
is
not
going
sure that
on?
I'm
Right,
supposed to
we're
be
having,
on
I
here. I
don't
think my
know what's going
spirit
on,
guides
people,
are,
today. Polly, you
keep
keep
on
moving, so
bumping
I've
me
only got
off.
half your face on screen. You got to stop coming forward or move your camera slightly. Tracy's being kicked in and out, so when this podcast goes out on YouTube, God knows what it's going to look like. But to be honest, the whole idea of a podcast is that it is just a natural flow of chat. So, some tips, Kelly, because I know you didn't really want to come on and look like you're on camera. You're not on camera, are you? You're talking to us. We're having a little FaceTime chat. You wouldn't even know it's going to go out to all those people later on. Sorry, did I say that?
Yeah.
You're having a FaceTime chat, and that's all you're doing. And when you think of it like that, it's quite relaxing, isn't it, Polly? It
Oh,
beats
absolutely.
standing out and walking around in front of an audience like we have to do. So believe you me, this is the easy life, apart from when I have to edit it. So we have lost Tracy. I don't know if we're going to. Yeah, I've lost my teeth again. I don't know if we're going to be able to get her back in properly for the remainder of the show. So that's quite annoying. But anyway, which means Kelly's got to put up with us, Polly, for our podcast.
You poor thing, Kelly. You poor thing.
So we know how Kelly sort of dabbled and got into it, and we know that she's got two amazing mentors. We don't call ourselves teachers, do we? So we know that. I think Tracy's giving it one more go. So why don't we talk? If Tracy gets in, we'll talk to her. If not, why don't we talk about how different development groups are, or different circles, as some people call it? Because there's a lot of strange stuff going on out there now, isn't there?
I would totally agree with that. I think it has been for a long time. And I do feel that it obviously depends where you go for development, because there is the private groups like ourselves, and there is also SNU or church run development groups, which are going to be very different. Because I sat in a group once that with somebody that had been in the SMU, and her way of teaching was completely different. The amount of things, it was only one time I went, I wasn't impressed and didn't go back. And she was a perfectly lovely person, but it just wasn't my way. It felt so restricting. In the group, it was, you're not allowed to predict, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to say that. And, in my head, I'm like, well, why? Why aren't you allowed to say that? And hello, hope you stay. And so, yeah, it was like one of those situations where I know that wasn't for me. However, a group like that may be good for somebody else, somebody that has more of the church type values, for example, but it is restrictive. And the sort of group that we lead and the people we mentor, for example, we are teaching you to get the best out of yourself, to deliver messages from spirit, and to also work in a psychic way. Used to attend a group. My cat's about to jump up. I used to attend a group where you never meditated, never ever meditated, you never opened up in prayer. The one thing that I did learn from it is that I never wanted to work like that. And I think that's a valuable lesson, because to be in a situation where you don't necessarily feel safe, you don't feel protected. I obviously had done my own protection, sat there, did my own protection, without them saying anything or them knowing. There was also the case of we were very much pulled back all the time. So in our group, we also encourage everyone to be mindful of what they're saying, to read the person in the way where you've got to know whether they can take the information, how gentle or you have to be. Some people like to know the information just how it is and completely raw and like, give it to me. Some people, depending on their mental health or their vulnerability or what kind of state of mourning or grieving they're in, you have to be very, very careful. So we have to make sure as mentors that the people in the group are going to have the same morals, the same moral standards, and also, understand the responsibility of of the person in front of us. Um, and unfortunately, one of the groups I sat in, it
So
was like, you go forward and then they'd pull you back
with
again.
me.
You go forward and then you'd be criticized all the time. And I got accused of talking too much. I got accused of being passive aggressive,
Strange that.
was possibly true.
Talking too much was possibly true.
Yeah, but in the same way, I know that because I've worked with people all my life, I've worked with children all of my life. Well, not obviously for the last few years. I've worked with elderly people, I've worked in care situations, and I know how to deliver some messages without causing any harm, concern, or distress to anybody. But this group, it was so restrictive. And I mean, because I spoke and because I spoke out, and because when I was criticised, I fired it back and said, I don't agree, which I'm very good at, but not everybody else in that group was good at that. And so every time they got criticized, it crunched them down and crunched them down and crunched them down. And that is so wrong. I mean, of course, pick somebody up if they are perhaps delivering some information that is either inappropriate, unprovable, does that make sense? Or could bring them some distress. I would never want to be in a group like that. And I was in a group, like I said, where I was really held back. And all the time, I'm literally, thinking, well, in a way, it made me stronger because I'm thinking, no, you're not going to tell me that I'm wrong because I know I'm right, But not everybody can deal with that. Not everybody deals with things in the same way as I do or Jane might. Absolutely. It's put some of them that I know they're right off doing it ever.
Right, Tracy, speak. So, I've got all my fingers crossed that Tracy can stay on and speak.
Bless her.
What is going on?
We're just going to have to carry on and bless Tracy. If she can't make this one, maybe she'll have to come and sit in my lounge with me next time we do
It
it.
must be really frustrating her trying to get on. I don't know why. Who'd want to come on and talk to us on a podcast? That's what I think. Yeah, it is quite worrying. Before we went on air, I said today that I was quite shocked. I had a client recently that told me that a group she went to, I wouldn't have said it's it probably was development. She never actually called what it was, but that she was told she wasn't a psychic medium. She can't be a psychic medium because she was told that a psychic can't be a medium and vice versa. And I just sat there smiling. Obviously, Polly knows why I've been smiling because I got told the very same thing at the Arthur Findlay College when we went for the open day. And I disagreed, and the woman walked away from me because she wouldn't answer me. And I asked her to explain why she assumed that, and she kept walking away from me. So I disagreed even strongly. I am absolutely flabbergasted that people have, even in this world of spiritualist stuff, they're so opinionated and so sure they're right, that their way is right and that's it. But why is everyone assuming they're always right? It's all we've always said. It's about integrity, it's about safety, and it's about kindness. Why do people put these labels or lack of labels or say you can't be this? I am a psychic. I've always said that. Polly will say, I've always told people I was a psychic first and foremost. I was never a medium, was I, Polly? Because
Until, yeah, but you
psychically,
were.
I had psychic abilities and stuff that I obviously knew I had, but I didn't know how to cope with. Growing up and going through different stages of life, having children and that, I just thought I had a good intuition and gut instinct. But obviously, it was a psychic ability of many abilities of psychically. But the mediumship that I so avidly denied and kept saying I wasn't one, I actually see spirit at the age of 5. So I was a medium before I was a psychic. And I think the two do go together. Of course they go together. Why do people always assume that you can't be? I think maybe a psychic may not be able to always be a medium, but not that could be from choice like it was for me for some time. Or it just may be that they don't feel they want to do that strong connection to the actual spirit world. So that's a choice, not because,
Mm.
and some mediums are very natural, as in they've literally had a natural ability and they've been growing with it from a young age, but that's still choice if they continue that or don't continue that. So it's interesting with these development groups, and and when we know lots of people that run them online, in person, we're doing it obviously, but it's interesting with people that have got such strong opinions and are putting that out to a group that are looking for advice.
Mm.
They're not looking, which
Unless you're me, who turns into a right arse and then makes.
unless you turn into a passive aggressive bully. And obviously, or you're like me, where you sit there and think, I don't think you're talking. I think you're talking rubbish. But again, when I used to look at people,
Yeah, no, I think it's and if anyone is looking for because obviously there's people from all sorts of places watching us today from all different places. If you are going to join a development group, make sure it's the right one for you. Don't let anybody put you down, you know, listen to constructive criticism, yes, but do not be bullied and do not be criticized in a way where it is making you lose your confidence. If that is what is happening, then you should not be in that group, period. You should walk away. You should think about your self respect. And just because somebody says this doesn't mean that that is gospel for a start. And going back to what Jane has just said, I was obviously with Jane when that happened at the Arthur Findlay College. And to be honest, I mean, we did watch a couple of good things as well there. There was a couple of decent people there, but this woman was stuck up. I do not understand why they meet people, and we've seen it when we've gone to demos. I'm not a psychic, I'm a medium. No, you're a psychic and a medium. And you are. You are a psychic and a medium. And the way they deliver messages, yes, it might start off as mediumship, but there's definitely some psychic stuff there, without a doubt. And it's like almost like, you know, it's almost like they're putting themselves in a class, like, you know, well, we're sort of middle class and you're working class, you know what I mean? Or lower class, just because we would dare to say we're psychic mediums. But
Well, let's be
I,
fair,
I
we'd
could,
dare to say a lot, we would.
I could call myself a spiritual medium when I'm on, your platform working. You know, a lot of the information I get is pure mediumship. It's straight from them. I'm getting the messages I'm giving. Then, yes, some psychic stuff might come out after, and it's exactly the same with Jane. Exactly the same. We work in a different way, but I just feel like some people need to, excuse my language, pull a rod out of their arse and stop being so stuck up
Yeah.
and realize that there is absolutely nothing wrong with a psychic, and there is absolutely nothing wrong being called a psychic medium. You are a medium of sorts, right? And to be honest, I'd rather go to a psychic medium that wasn't just going to say, yes, you know, Auntie Doris is stood here. Yes, she had this and she had one leg, and then give me absolutely no message. Well,
Which is something we experienced the other day when I actually got a message and it wasn't really a message because,
well, it's not a message.
um, I mean, we've
It's a
talked about this
statement.
before. Mediumship is strange anywhere in the world of certain practices because of there's rules and we don't have rules. Me and Polly do not have rules. I've sat and questioned this myself when I didn't want to be a medium, when I kept saying I wasn't one. But I'm glad we don't have rules because we have the only rules that are important, which is what I said: safety, integrity, and kindness. We
Mm.
deliver the messages with kindness and fun sometimes because fun's needed. We deliver the messages with detail. And yes, we give some futuristic information sometimes to pre warn because why else did your loved one come out? So after struggling to not want to be a medium and not certainly not want to do a demo, I sure as hell am not going to change now the information I'm getting and change just to suit someone else because
Mm.
I actually find those mediums quite boring to watch. And that isn't me being, oh, look at me, I'm so good, because anyone that knows me, and Kelly, you know, you've heard me say it yourself, I'd happily not go up and do a demo. I don't feel the need to go up and do a demo. People can come to me privately if they want to send messages. So I don't care whether my name's on a poster or not, because I actually think they're quite personal demos. Demos aren't, but people's messages are. And sometimes that's not the place to do it. But the information that we've witnessed recently, when we've gone to see quite well-renowned international, whatever they want to put in front of it, mediums, I've actually sat there and thought, God, that's boring. And I'm sorry. So this psychic medium that isn't apparently a psychic medium, according to a certain psychic medium, according to a medium, uh,
I'm lost
in
now.
the SNU, doesn't really care what the SNU thinks and doesn't really care whether I don't do what they think I should do or Polly doesn't do, because as long as everyone goes away and feels like, one, they enjoyed the evening, two, they didn't feel like they wasted their ticket money, and three, actually they go home feeling a bit lighter if someone came out and gave them more detailed information, then my job is done. And maybe we won't call it an evening of mediumship when we next start to, well, we've already started setting up our own events, where we'll just call it an, come and have fun with Jane and Polly or something like that. I don't know.
God knows what could happen.
Yeah, I mean, getting on to that, we have actually set up an event. It's just about to go live, probably tonight. It would be 24th of July, if anyone's watching, and it will be a exclusive evening of 3 mediums. One may be a psychic medium, one may be a
Free, not
spiritualist.
free. 3, not free.
Oh, yes. I did say tea food.
Pompey accent.
Yeah, it's they're not yeah, sorry, yeah, it's definitely got a T in front of it. There is nothing free in this game. Yeah, do you know what? That's just one area of it, the mediumship. And when you know, when we do development, and you know this, Kelly, and so do the group, we teach lots of different things. Not necessarily things that we practice, not necessarily things we're very good at, but we're giving a bit of fun and giving different ways that you can practice your psychic abilities. Because without your psychic abilities working first, no one's ever going to really step out and be a medium, surely. Exactly.
Well, you had the pleasure, didn't you? I mean, you actually started. You decided to join our group because I've had, like Kelly said, I've actually sort of known you for quite a long time over the years, but not in a personal way necessarily, was it? It was more of a client way at that time. And we were working on a retreat in where were we? Cotswolds. So a few of our groups, people decided to come along with us. Now, Kelly wasn't in the group at the time. Stop it. And so Kelly had texted me and said, "Oh, do you know of any retreats? Because I'd really like to go." So I said, "Okay, we're going on this one." And then Kelly ended up coming along with us. Well, you didn't know anyone, did you, Kelly? Really? It was, I mean, they talk about meant to be. How much of a laugh did we have? I honestly do not think I have laughed that much in years. It was absolutely hysterical, probably for a few of the wrong reasons as well.
Probably just in case anyone's watching from that event, maybe we won't. We'll just keep that a bit quiet.
Yeah, well, we certainly partied, didn't we? We had a lovely time. But isn't it funny how, you were just asking about something and then you've been pulled in a whole other to another angle of, let's say, spiritual learning and also trance mediumship. You do sit in trance, don't you, as well? And I mean, again, had you ever thought about sitting in a trance circle until
When you say witness it, make sure you're clear on what you witnessed, because there was two different trance going on that weekend.
and then also when we got back and we decided to do some trance in the
You
caravan.
had your own private showing of Merlin and Maya. So there you are at this retreat that you've come along. You're in a caravan with people apart from Polly that you've never met. And I drove, and that in itself was interesting when we got home, wasn't it? Well, it was interesting when we went because we arrived in horrendous torrential weather. We should have hired a boat. Yeah, and so we were thrown into deep end from day one. The rain was pouring down when we arrived. We was all drenched. Our coats were dripping everywhere. We got straight into it. Yeah, there was no bars hold. We were not standing on ceremony. We just all got on with it. Obviously, me and Polly did work on the Sunday night, but prior to that, I enjoyed. I was a guest as well, and I acted like a guest. So I had some drinks, and I did the bingo, and we did the music quiz because we were guests as well. But yeah, it was a really weird, thrown together, didn't know what to expect weekend. Yeah, the trancing. I know that a couple of you in the group, actually, I think all three of you that came hadn't seen trance before. So you obviously watched the woman through the Zoom link, you watched somebody on stage do it. And you're like you said, you're just a kid in sweet shop watching these people trancing, where me and Polly are probably just sat there going, "It's a trance." And then we're back to the caravan in a tiny little thing, sitting in our PJs. And then next thing I know, me and Polly are trancing. Actually, not together because we like to keep an eye on each other. So we did it in turn. In what way? Because you were like, what my best go and find another caravan and go and stay. I can't stay in here with these two. But it's a very addictive thing, and I always said I wouldn't do it. I've said it many a time. I think even on air, I've always said I wouldn't do it. It is addictive, but when you start doing it, oh my God, you just can't stop. You just can't stop.
Tracy, say hi quickly. Hello. I
Hello,
think
Tracy.
Tracy's been in every single room of her house now to try and find the Wi-Fi.
I've gone
It
behind the
actually
dogs, I've
keeps
gone
telling
behind the
her that it's
sofa.
something to do with the quality. So she's just said, this is her last time. Yeah, she's been everywhere. Tracy, quickly say hello before they shut you
Hello,
off again. These
I'm
spirits.
Tracy, and I'm going to get
Got
bounced
something
out
going
again.
on.
I think I'm just here for comedic effect, to be honest.
Is she there? She's froze again.
She's froze with a smile.
She's froze. I don't know. She might still be there. She's still there.
Hello,
She's laughing.
I am still there.
Tracy, quick, introduce yourself. Tell them
So,
why you're here. In and out, in and out, in and out.
I've been a psychic medium, I suppose, most of my life.
But she's very happy.
Dear. So again, I did say try a different device. This is the joys of recording, right? She has pre-told me if this doesn't work, she's not going to come back on. And poor old Tracey will never be recognised because that's probably going to be edited all out. Otherwise, it'll look really weird. But yeah, sometimes on the joys of recording online, we can all sit like looking like we're dressed on the top half and probably sitting in our PJs on the bottom half. But that is the downside when you're recording on a line on a line. God, I think there's something going on anyway. I can't get my words out, and Tracey can't even open her mouth to speak. When you're doing it online, there's usually can be technical issues, problems. The weather, which is not great where I am at the moment, can interfere with it. And also, it's just one of those things with a recording studio. Someone's probably gremlins in it. We have enough gremlins. If there is a gremlin in it, I'm sure me and Polly can remove it.
Get rid of that
We'll
thing.
get rid of that thing with our spirit release. So that was the Cotswolds, and everyone enjoyed it to the point that you and Sarah keep asking, "Oh, should we go to another retreat? Are you doing another retreat?" And yeah, another thing on our back burner that we've had going on. What else have you enjoyed about the group, Kelly? That's nice to know because actually, Polly, I don't know if you've caught up with group, but the couple of the new people have just said how lovely it is to be in the group. They feel really relaxed. They feel quite content there. Kelly, I think you agreed with somebody with that as well. So for us, and we, like we said, we don't like the word teacher. We're mentors. We're still learning
We're
stuff ourselves. We're mental. We're mental. We're mental mentors. That's what we are. We are like an advisory. We're a mentor. We do not teach. We teach when we're teaching our practices, maybe, but in group, we're just there to guide you, advise you, for you to disagree with us. We've said this many a time. Actually question us, because if we don't know the answer, we'll go and find it out anyway. Well, we'll try. She just used that word again, Polly. She won't be coming on
You
again.
said you two aren't teaching
Aren't
us.
teaching us. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good then. So now anyone that's looking to join our group realises it just sits there and we're not doing anything. We just sit there and let them do all the work.
No, we do not. We actually do. We do. Let's just let's just say we put out scenarios of things that we can explore, and we will explain what we, for goodness sake, what we know about it. I'm so sorry. What we know about it, but it's always good to. I mean, because some people in our group have maybe had a bit of a break from this sort of work and they're coming back into it, or want to sorry again.
Do you want to put a camera on her? Normally
You know,
it's
and
Theo.
some people have had a break and they come back into this sort of work. Some people have just got an interest in it. So really, we have got. I'm just laughing because she's trying to do laps now, just to annoy me. But yeah, it's good for exploration, and it is good to be in a safe environment where you're not going to be criticised. But if there is any, well, let's just say it wouldn't be criticism, but it would be anything that we say, would only be for somebody's best interest. It wouldn't be to criticize them. It would be to poke them in the right direction. Yeah. And it is so important. I mean, I've heard it over and over again from people that have lost their confidence because of what other people have said. And this is another bugbear of mine, actually, that's just sort of popped into my head, is the fact that there's a lot of old school mediums out there who will criticize the new ones coming in. They haven't had enough training. They haven't done this. They haven't done that. They
Well,
haven't
not
done
just
the
in
other.
mediumship, Polly, in any practice, in healing,
Yeah,
any practice, they're
absolutely.
very quick to judge.
Yeah. And some of the people that not only have just gone through our group as well, because we have had some people come through our group out the other side, haven't we, Jane, that are now going out there and are working like this. It's their business and they're doing like maybe healing, readings, mediumship, tarot. We've had a few of them up on the stage to when we've been doing demos to encourage them because they're ready. And we are very good at noticing that they're ready. But it does bug me where, especially if I'm on groups where there is an element of, people that perhaps have gone through church training, etc. I have had some of the best readings I've had from newbies, people who are coming out of development groups, who are coming into the world of actually having a career doing this. And because they are new and because they are fresh and because they are open and everything, there's so many that have given me some right corking information, and some that have, you're paying triple what we charge. I've been to and I've been wholly disappointed. And I feel that what can happen is the fact that, as a medium of maybe a long term, that maybe they're getting a little bit complacent, or maybe,
Or
maybe they're,
maybe their heart's not in it, because despite
yeah.
despite anything, I mean, you know that healing is much more my forte. It's where I really enjoy working and teaching, and obviously our spirit release, but that is a form of healing anyway. But tarot is obviously something I could do quite naturally. I understood the cards, but I didn't just understand them as a generic form. I understood the cards that I could just keep reading them. We talked about this in group Monday, that I can keep looking at a card and see something different in it all the time. And I've been doing it like nearly 10 years now. So, like, properly, obviously, prior to that, I used to hide them and play around with them in my teens. But it's interesting that people are just not. I've lost my thread.
As passionate, because we were
Yeah,
saying,
they're not. They don't. I think they've become just complacent, like you said, and they're not. They're not thinking about the client. And if you're not caring about that client that's in front of you, if you haven't got that element of care, no, you don't know them, and they may not never come back. But you've got a duty of care to them. If you don't care how you're delivering that message, if you don't care what you're saying to that person, and if you don't care whether you see them again, yes, we do have difficult clients. We'd be lying if we said we didn't. But there's also a reason behind why they're difficult. We usually see that in the cards. So then we offer them a spirit release card, and that might sort them out. But yeah, if your heart's not in it, then stop doing it because people mock this business, a lot of the holistic side and spiritual side, but especially readings, because they say we're con artists, that we're just making up stories. I don't make up stories, and I'm certainly not conning anyone. Sometimes I turn people away. Sometimes I tell them that tarot's not for them, maybe a bit of healing, or maybe just talk things through. They don't need tarot in front of them. So there are con artists out there. Of course there are. We know there are. There are people, they're blagging people and giving messages and they're getting the money. But that is not why I did it. I didn't even charge for God knows how long because I felt so bad that people were suffering so much. But if they really don't enjoy delivering those messages no more, if they're sitting there going, oh, here I go again, I've got to do a read it, then they shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't
mm,
be doing it. And what they shouldn't be doing as well is giving readings with no thought into them, because we talked earlier about meditation. You don't have to meditate. I don't always meditate before working because my tarot ability is a clear knowing. Whether I meditated or not, I'm gonna know. It's a bit weird,
mm,
but there you go. And then everything else comes in. What I do know though is when I don't meditate enough, I do start losing my connection. It's there, but it's haphazardly so it's about putting the effort in there if I was doing mediumship. But I think if people are not committed to serving the people that are coming to pay them, they shouldn't be doing it. It's
mm,
a poor thing. And like you said, there are too many people out there now as well that are either they either don't want to do it, or they're getting back into it, or they've been doing it too long. And then they're giving messages that are quite damaging without even
mm,
realizing the consequences. They are telling people information that actually, without understanding what's going on in the background, without understanding their mental well-being, they are actually giving messages that could damage that person or upset that person or cause them to worry even more after that message because they didn't pay enough attention and read their client properly. So it is.
well, yeah, I mean, we were also, I mean, obviously, we do a lot of this work, but we do see it as well where mediums or readers, or psychic readers have perhaps, when I say predicted things about people's future, but then and so they obviously the client will worry about that information. And then when they sort of ask more, like, or how is this going to happen? Why is this going to happen, etc., gives them absolutely no reason for this bad October they're going to have or this bad year they're going to have. Um, I find that really damaging. I mean, if you cannot give them information about why, it's like before in readings I've seen, for example, that there is likely to be a redundancy, with their job. And it won't go away in the reading, so I'm having to address it. So I had obviously had to be very careful about how I said that. But I said, your work, and I had to ask the question, don't like asking questions, but I did. I said, have your work already shown signs that there could be some redundancies? More often than not, the client would say yes. they are aware there's some changes happening, they don't know, but etc., if it's going to affect them. But then within the reading, it's not just that I'm seeing a redundancy, I am also seeing that there's a new job coming. Does that make sense? Now, that job could be within the same company, but in a different way, or it could be that there's a job coming that is out of there. And you have to be really, really careful because I've seen it and I know that it's about work, and I know it's about a potential redundancy or payout. Then, I'd have to say that, this something could happen around this, but don't worry, because there is something else coming and it is in the cards. If there was nothing coming up after that and it was doom and gloom, I'd have to think very carefully about whether that information was going to be appropriate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And people, unfortunately, are giving information like, oh no, I can see some trauma in October, but not giving any idea why that might be, not giving any other further information, and just saying, I don't know. All of that reading, so 3/4 of that reading could have been amazing, like good stuff coming. That last bit that they've left you with, you have to take that home as a client. You have to take that
You're going to
home.
take it home anyway, even if it was all good and it was a small bit. As soon as you get something negative, it doesn't even matter if it's in a reading, if it was in a job appraisal, if you had a really good day in work and then suddenly something small happened, that would hang over you more than all the good stuff. So it's no different. Yeah, it's no different. The way humans are set up, they would only hear the negative. And
Mm,
that's why this is quite, when you're working with clients, even when you're doing your angel boards, it's empowering to know what you're giving, how you're helping and that. But you have to also, there's an ego that I think, and strange enough, when this person mentioned to me that they were told they couldn't be a psychic medium, I said there's an element of egotistic behaviour there to the person that's saying it, because they're telling you you can't be it, but you felt like you were. And it did affect what they were doing, because they went away questioning, should they be doing mediumship, should they be doing psychic work, or should they be doing healing? They felt that they were doing the wrong thing, and they stepped away from it. So
mm.
it is an element. When someone's saying, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, or you can't be this," there's an element there of I think they need some shadow work to work out why they seem to think they're powered enough to tell people this.
I thought you were going to say, I think they need to shut up.
Shadow work, shadow work. But it is, again, I mean, we probably have said things where, because we believe it, but we will always add at the end, that's what we believe. So if I said to someone, I don't think there is such a thing as a psychic medium, I would then go on, being the Virgo logical person I am, and I like to explain myself, I would then go on to tell them why I think that. But what I like about people is I want them to say, well, I think you're wrong, and this is why I think that, because that's what makes the whole development interesting, because we can question it and then go, actually, I never looked at it like that. Because people, believe it or not, in our development group have said things sometimes that I've sat back and thought about it. They could be really small things, and please don't ask me to work out what they are, because I've got the memory of a gnat at the moment. But I've actually sat in group thinking that's quite an interesting way of looking at it. Even like you said, for us who have probably had a bit more life experience in the spiritual side, Polly certainly has. When people say things, I sit and go, oh, that's actually quite interesting. I might really look at that.
Mm,
So you shouldn't be telling people in any line of work, any line of training, any line of development, whatever it is, whatever the background is, no one should ever be made to feel that they're not good enough or adequate, or that they actually thought they were doing something and they like the name of, just like naming your business and then being told it's rubbish, which happened to me, funny enough. I got told my business name didn't work, it wouldn't work, and I needed to change it. But I went away and meditated on it. I meditated that day. Thought I'd give it a go. And I still kept
put one in.
thinking, I thought, well, I should throw this meditation out for a laugh. But yeah, I really concentrated on it, and I still get getting very strongly, no, that's my business name. I can't change it. I couldn't change it. And the reason behind it, because I am stubborn, and you all know me, I am quite stubborn. The reason I couldn't change it as well is the name came to me in a vision. I picked a tarot card out of my psychic tarot decks, and it was the name was on it. The first card was New Beginnings, and the woman's like a warrior, and she stands on the, if you've got these cards, Polly, you know the one I mean.
Mm, mm.
So she's a warrior and she's taken back control. And I named that after I'd gone through quite a horrendous divorce. I think my husband thought he was celebrities, how much he was trying to take everything and fight me in court. And I also was going through a terrible time in work, and I also lost my dad and my best friend. So to come away from my corporate job nearly lose my home, go through an emotional turmoil of loss and grief, and then get this name, and then someone down the line telling me, oh, that's the wrong name for your business. I was like, dare you? How dare you tell me it's the wrong name? Because the card got picked, the name came to me, it made perfect sense. And although I've probably only started getting, the term is, organic followers now more recently, I have never bought my followers. I have never tried to make it look like I've got loads of people following me just for the sake of it. They're the real followers. I haven't paid to get that little bit of a boost. I know many that have, which I find very strange. I don't need to pay people to follow me on social media, that is. But the name has stayed because I'm passionate about it. But a very good friend of ours, who also used to come to group, just said, change one thing and put your name in front of it. That's all you've got to do. And I went, really? She went, yeah, then people will relate you to the business and the business name could stay the same. So 10 years on in July, when I first started the business up, I mean, it makes it sound like it's a really prosperous business. It is not. So don't get excited, people. I'm not up there on the Forbes list by far. I'm not even up there on the Portsmouth list, I don't think. But anyway, 10 years in July, I set that business up. And that's the only change I made to it. I put my name in front of it so people could relate to a person. And it did push my figures up. And then more recently, someone mentioned to me that I need to put my face to that business more often because people don't see the person. But it's funny how people have an opinion. They obviously didn't like my business name and wanted me to change it. They even said that in the mediumship reading, they got told I must change it. And now, despite being stubborn, there is no reason, any grounded reason why I would need or have to change it. I don't get what the purpose of telling me it didn't work for. So it is interesting, isn't it? Because it was somebody's opinion and they said they were getting told it in spirit. But surely if that was the case, I'd get told it in spirit. If my
We
dad
just had
didn't
a
like
big
it, he'd
rumble
come
of
and tell me.
thunder.
Sorry, Polly.
Did you just hear that big rumble of thunder?
I did, but thought it was you again. I thought it was like days back in the caravan. But it is interesting, isn't it? So that's how far someone's opinion can go. Because like you, Kelly, you're sort of starting up. You know, you've done your healing, doing your angel boards. You're going to eventually come up with a business name. You're going to eventually put a social media page out there, and then someone's going, "Oh, that don't work." Or this, and when you're starting out, that can actually knock your confidence. But if someone went, "Oh, if you thought about like our very good friend Gemma did, or if you thought about putting your name in front of it, Jane, it might help." I mean, when I say it helped, I think it gave me 300 more followers in quite a quick period of time. Yeah. They didn't tell me to do it. But all these people with opinions and all these people that are doing readings or even in spiritual development groups, because this is obviously where this woman got told she wasn't a psychic medium. And you've experienced that, Polly, in a group where they've told you, you know. I've experienced it. I've been told you'll never be any good. I've even doing the mediumship on stage, people have mentioned, oh, she's not a proper medium. That actually is people that don't come and watch me. That's actually people that know me. Oh, she's not a proper medium. I don't care what they think.
Who haven't come to watch
Who
you, and
haven't
if
come
they
to
did,
watch me, don't know what I'm doing, but actually the tickets prove for themselves because on the whole, we sell out our events. So I don't need to worry about what my associate friends or relatives or anyone else think. But those things can really knock confidence even in a business. I don't care if we get feedback. Polly knows this, so I'll quite happily come off stage and just disappear out the back door. Where's the back door? The stage door. I'm out of here. And when they suddenly say, have you got your cards? Oh, that was really good. Oh, you're like Lauren Hardy. Oh, I'm sort of doing all the smiling and all that. And I mean, I do like talking to people. Obviously, I'm a people person, but I'm not bothered about the praise or the comments. And I'm not bothered if they don't take the message. And you've been in the audience, Kelly, so you've seen that. If they don't take the message, I'm not taking it back. It's there. But again, some people need that ego, don't they, Polly? They need to be told they're wonderful and they're all, everyone goes round them. I find it fascinating, actually, when I'm in the audience. I just sit there and think,
I
blimey.
find it fascinating though that some of the people that want the attention don't get it. It's I think that because we are who we are the same at home. I mean, me and Jane have gone
Bit
on
worrying,
many
isn't it?
excursions. We've gone on many excursions together with friends or with each other for work. And we are exactly the same on this podcast or on stage or in the car talking about ridiculous stuff. It does not matter where we are. We're still the same person. We're still the same people. And I think that's what, we've not bothered. If I was bothered about being famous, I'd be a little bit more organised about my life. And I really am not. You know what I'm like. I'm a right flake.
Well, if I was bothered about being famous, I would have started this a lot longer because turning 60 in less than 5 months, probably I should have thought about that before now because I laugh even now when we do get offered to do things and we have started branching out. And I mean, we've got an event next month in Bognor Regis. It's not that far, but it is when you don't want to drive. I look now and think, God, if we were younger, it'd be so much easier because now it's like, oh, the driving, oh, this. I want to get home. I want to be home before 10. I want to be in bed before 10. This comes from the person that, although was a psychic medium, because that's what I am, in the day, was also a manager, like a transport person in the day. And also, when I was trying to work out which job to do, I was also a very heightened social bunny out drinking and partying every weekend. And now this person quite likes her own home, likes her own company, and wants to be home at a decent hour. It
Yeah.
is quite weird as
I've been like
well.
that for way longer.
But again, I think spiritually, I mean, like we said, Kelly, you're a lot younger than us, but I think spiritually, you start changing. Like I haven't smoked in 26 years, so that's something I stopped doing anyway. I've had no interest in doing vaping or anything like that. I stopped smoking. I stopped it. I said I was stopping it and I stopped it. That was it. Drinking, I did a lot of, but now I can take or leave it. I can drive and not drink. It doesn't bother me. I might drink at special occasions. Kelly's going there. Kelly's tick, tick. Well, the fun, yeah, you cut out a
You
little
went
bit
very
now.
strange there for a minute, Kelly. I thought we were going to have to do a clearing on you.
Clear, hello, Polly. Let's go in a trance. Let's clear her. She's got a demonic force attached to her. Um, I think we got a thunderstorm coming, guys. It's gone really black here. But yeah, and also, mm, uh, I think the thunderstorm's affecting my brain activity. Yeah, it's literally pounding down on my windows, and I'm like, hey, I feel like someone's pulling me in, going, "Hey, you can come with us. Come with." We were, we were going to talk about aliens on this show, but we thought we'd save that for another episode. We might get Ryan on for that.
Sorry, Kelly. What did you just say? Love it.
It is weird. I've had more fun doing our Christmas party and our Halloween parties at group than I have now going out having a night out. I still love the friends that I've still got, the ones that have actually stayed true friends and not been bad mouthing me behind my back. Those friends, I still enjoy their company and but now it's like, let's get a takeaway, sit round here and have a drink, or sit round there and a drink. And I used to think it was my disability that was stopping me, but it isn't. It's my mindset. My mindset's changed. Started to look at things differently. But yeah, is the way of life. And I remember my very good friend and mentor Neshla telling me, you start changing, even like she's diet. So that's the thing I've still got to, I mean, I'm quite good health wise in most things, but I still eat naughty things. But diet, cutting things out that are not good for you. A lot of spiritual friends I know have gone vegetarian or vegan now. Or like with Polly, they've got some kind of celiac or gluten allergy going on because it's like your body's going, no, no. I reject most things now that get offered to me. In medication, my body can't accept it, so my body doesn't like medication. If there's any potential boyfriends out there, don't take that for gospel. I don't reject everything. I meant it, but actually, I'm not looking for a boyfriend either because they're a pain in the bum. But yeah, so it is interesting how you start your body and your mind, and that's what we talk about, don't we? The mind, body, and the change is quite. It's ticking away in the background until one day you suddenly, oh, actually, I don't enjoy doing that no more. I don't.
I just had a real massive Twilight Zone moment, right? Because it was raining outside the front, but it wasn't raining outside the back. How does that work?
It does work though, doesn't it? Because the cloud can only be in one place at a time. And if that cloud was already further the other way, it hasn't quite reached the back yet, has it?
Mind you, I was on a motorway once and I drove. I could see the rain in front of me and it was completely dry where I was and literally drove into the rain. I thought,
That is what happens, isn't it? And you like look at it and think, I mean, it's pitch black out there now. It's literally, and we're only 5 minutes away in the car. It has really gone quite horrible out there, actually.
Yeah.
So I suppose on that note, then we ought to wrap it up because we're not going to talk aliens today.
No, and we're going to have to rearrange the lovely Tracey, who was supposed to be on with us tonight. But it's been amazing to have you, Kelly, with us and your first TV debut.
Wasn't it exciting being on with us? Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Even though you did go, like we said, you went very sort of metally and demonic for a moment there. We were thinking, what's happened to Kelly? So, yeah, but
maybe we
it's
should
been
all get off before the electric fault comes in. Well, we're all right. We're highly protected, aren't we? We don't care. We're fearless. We're very fearless. But yeah, it was lovely coming on, Kelly. I know you was a little bit nervous. You was what, as Polly would say, a virgin. But you're not a virgin no more.
now Jane's stuck.
This is the beauty of doing things online, because the thought of it is more scary than actually doing it. So it's not the same as, I mean, we're not going to get you up on stage just yet, but this is quite a nice way to break yourself in, isn't it? And then work out you can do online clients. It's not a big deal. It's really not. So you're very welcome. So on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye, everyone, and we will see you in a fortnight.
See you soon.
Still it won't go off.
Okay.
Okay.
We're here.
What's going on?
I don't know.
End it.
Well, I can leave studio.
Leave
You just
studio. If you're on your phone, it'd be down the bottom.